everyone, and welcome to Wingcat Sports. And it's time to get back into some baseball with some Tigers news going on. I haven't been able to get up to the Tigers news as of late, but throughout the week, a lot of stuff is happening as of recording it. Today is the first day of MLB free agency. Probably nothing going to happen today, but I'll try my best to be on top of the Tiger news as it comes out. First up that happened this week, Eduardo Rodriguez did exercise his opt-out clause. He is no longer on the Tigers.
Yay! No, like I said, I don't think he's a bad pitcher. I wish it was Baez that was doing this, but probably a good thing though. I didn't think it kind of worked out, and I think people were ticked off when he wouldn't take that trade or whatever it was that we were going to do. But like I said, I think it's a good idea. I don't think he's worth the money we're paying him. We could use it elsewhere in free agency. And so, yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I don't think much. I mean, it would have been great to keep Rodriguez. He is a really, really good left-handed pitcher. But at the same time, if you're trying to go towards younger, more available players and keep on moving, then it's good for him to move on. He might stay too. We might sign him back. And
Right.
So we'll see what ends up happening. He might stay here. He did say he liked being here, but that was during the regular season. He might want to be moved out now.
Right.
And that's why he opted out. We also felt he probably could have got more money than what he was being paid. If so, good for him. Otherwise, I think the Tigers will move on. We have a lot of young pitching prospects we didn't realize were going to be decent, like Olsen. We didn't expect him to be good. You have other guys that are coming up. So
and I'm sure they're going to sign somebody. I have a good feeling they're going to sign a top-notch pitcher.
Yeah, pitching is probably the one thing the Tigers are going to sign this offseason. I don't expect them to make too many moves in the field, because especially after what they did not too long after the Rodriguez opt-out, which was trade for Mark Canha, just to add a right-handed bat into our lineup. He was 262 last year, 11 home runs.
He seems like a decent player.
62 RBIs with a 755 on base plus slugging. So he's okay. He's probably going to be rotating in the outfield with Carpenter and Baddoo, depending on the lefty-righty, because we have a lot of left-handed hitters on our team.
Do you think Baddoo's going to be with the team this year?
I haven't heard anything that he's not. I didn't expect him to be on the team this year. I expected him to move on from him. But he's an okay bat. He's not terrible. He's just an okay player. If he's just going to be coming in to relieve somebody every now and then, with the emergence of Parker Meadows, that's probably going to be his role.
Right.
He's going to be that fifth option in the outfield if someone needs a break, but they want to keep a left-handed bat in the lineup. He's going to come in. Or in the sense of one of these guys is too slow, we need some speed on the base pads late in the game, he will come in. But I don't expect him to be the everyday player he was this year.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, I think I agree with you. I think we're pretty much set for the players in the field. I think maybe one addition they'll make or something like that, and pitching.
Yeah. And the good thing about Mark Canha, they expect him to be that veteran presence that Cabrera was basically in the clubhouse. He is 34 years old. He's going to be 35 in February. So he's going to be the old guy in the clubhouse, basically.
How about Joey Votto?
Now, we don't need a first baseman, okay?
A 40-year-old first baseman.
We don't need another first baseman. I think Torkelson has proved himself.
Joey Votto for DH.
Torkelson has proved himself this year as a capable player, along with Riley Green and Parker Meadows. You have a good young core coming up into next year. I don't think there's much you have to do.
I'm kind of excited for the Tigers. I do. I think that they're going to, although everyone's probably happy Miguel Cabrera left, but he was one of our better hitters.
And he brought a lot of good energy to the lineup, too.
Right. He was always a positive in the clubhouse and everything else.
And it's a good thing he's staying in the organization, because he is staying as a special advisor.
He could be a batting coach eventually or something.
Potentially. We'll see what ends up happening.
It doesn't always work out that way. Maybe they're not always good coaches.
Things that have happened very, very recently, compared to when we're making this video. By the time this comes out, it's going to be a couple days later. We exercised the club options on Carson Kelly, so there's your backup catcher for next year, even though I'd rather have Haas because he is more versatile. Carson Kelly is your backup catcher next year, with us exercising his club option. We exercised Mark Canha's club option, and Tyler Alexander is no longer on the Tigers roster after designating him for assignment since he was on the 60-day injured list for most of the year. Today is also a day where they got to clear up space for the 40-man roster.
Right. Okay.
And then one sad thing, as much as he wasn't a big player on the team, Zach Short was claimed by the Mets. He's no longer on the Tigers either.
I'm gonna miss him. I liked Zach Short. I thought he was a good role player on our team.
I expect the infield's going to end up without Zach Short being that extra guy. I believe.
So there's a guy we could pick up, another utility guy or something.
Well, you already got McKinstry and Verling as utility guys.
True. You always need another one.
So, but for the most part, I expect
he's down on the farm. What is Jace Jung's position right now?
I think he's the second baseman.
Right. But I mean, what is he? Do they think you're going to see him this year? Or
I don't think he will be. I think Andy Ibanez last year set himself up to be the second baseman this year. I did not. When I'm looking at his stats from last year, I was actually kind of surprised. Your whole infield bat's right-handed at the moment. All your infields are right-handed. Baez is a right-handed hitter. Ibanez is. Creedler, who we thought was going to be a really, really good player, came up this year and absolutely sucked. So I don't expect him to be filling in for Ibanez, who had a decent
Is there anybody
year.
down on the farm you expect to come up?
Not really. I don't think they're going to bring anyone up this year. Looking at your team, so if you look at your infield, you're looking at an infield of likely first baseman being Torkelson.
Of course.
Second baseman being Andy Ibanez. He didn't have a bad year last year.
Okay.
That's why I think he'll be there. Baez is your shortstop. And then you're going to be switching between McKinstry and Verling as your third baseman, even though they're technically in the outfield and the roster
okay.
spots.
Well, I mean, if they want to make a trade for one of those guys and maybe get a top-notch third baseman,
They could.
That's a possibility.
Your outfield is likely going to be, I expect Riley Green to be in left field. Move him over from center. I expect Parker Meadows to be your center fielder next year with how he was playing in the majors at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. And Kerry Carpenter to be your right fielder. And then depending on the day, will you want that extra right-handed bat? Probably Mark Canha is going to be your DH, or they're just going to rotate people in, give them a break. I expect Mark Canha to be your main DH and on occasion play right field to give an outfielder a day of rest, depending on how they're batting against the left-handed pitchers. Mark Canha is likely going to play a lot when a left-handed pitcher is pitching or someone's getting a break. I don't, in the field-wise. He's probably going to be your main DH, though, from what I'm looking at. I don't expect too much other on the roster. Cabrera is still on the roster on here, so ESPN hasn't updated anything yet. But that is none of these guys, Jake Rogers is going to be your catcher. The only thing I can think of, I don't know why they didn't try to find a left-handed hitting catcher, even though that might not be easy to find. That's the only thing they don't really have. And maybe a left-handed hitting infielder, because that's, again, something they don't really have, because everybody is right-handed except for your outfield. Because even McKinstry McKinstry's left-handed, so it's probably going to be a tandem between McKinstry and Verling switching off, depending on who's pitching. So it's going to be an interesting. It's weird to say you were almost 500 last year, and most Tigers fans probably are going to tell you they're okay with the offense. The pitching is the spot where you aren't as comfortable. Brisky will probably be up next year. Cisnero also left. He elected for free agency this year, so Cisnero's not in your bullpen anymore. Fideo probably will be up next year. Gibson Long might be up next year. Holton might be up. Alex Lang, who did pretty good for the most part this year until the end where he kind of tapered off a little bit.
Right.
He'll be there. Matt Manning should be back. Reese Olson. Skubal. I know
we're moving in the right direction, it sounds like. Are they going to make a leap like a Lion type leap? I don't know. But they certainly, with our division, I think that you have a capability of winning our division. If they get the right breaks and people play up to their abilities. I don't know if they're ready to overtake Minnesota, but how far did Minnesota were they ahead of us?
They were only 9 games, I think. 9
I
games
mean, you
ahead
can
of
make
us.
that up. You can make that up with the right additions and the right pitching.
So when you think about it, are the Tigers going to go after Shohei? Probably not. I don't think they will.
Yes,
They're not going to go after Shohei. Other players. Yamamoto. He's 25 years old. He's a pitcher. He is coming out of I believe the Japanese league. He is a potential for somebody to go after. They don't think
Yamamoto like Pearl Harbor or something like that. I don't mean to sound horrible, but wasn't that the guy who?
I think so. He was one of the generals, but
that was the big giant aircraft.
But he's a guy coming out of the Japanese league. He had the Japanese Triple Crown last year for pitching, and he won their version of the Cy Young. So, I mean, the Tigers could try to go international and try and get him. I don't think they will, though. They think he's going to go to the Dodgers, Mets, or Red Sox, which ain't surprising. Blake Snell, I believe he got a qualifying offer, so I don't know if you can go get him. I don't know if he denied it. Another pitcher you could go after if you felt like it. He's a left-handed pitcher. Cody Bellinger, you're not going to go after him. He's in the outfield. You're fine with that.
Right.
Aaron Nola, another pitcher, 31 years old, top pitcher.
Good. I do think they're going to grab a top pitcher. I think they're going
Josh
to
Hader,
add a couple of them actually.
Sonny
and
Gray,
maybe one, bat, one more bat.
Jordan Montgomery. You could try to, if you really, really want to get a DH and you wanted to bring some old blood back, you could go sign JD Martinez. It would be hilarious.
That would be hilarious.
Bring JD back as a DH.
What was his year like last year?
I think he had an okay year.
I don't want to get somebody unless there's something.
He hit 33 home runs with 101 RBIs and 893 on base plus.
Better than anybody we got.
So it's a possibility.
That's it. Come home, JD.
Bring JD back as a DH. I mean, it's possible. You could do that. Yeah. I wouldn't be upset about that. Matt Chapman. He's the only one I think out of the third base market. If you want to actually get yourself a legitimate third baseman, that would be the one.
Yeah. Okay.
I would say.
Well, like I said, I think those are options for them.
Soler, no. I don't see. Are we going to sign? They think that we might sign Rodriguez back. Rodriguez is also a possibility, I think. Jung Ho Lee, no, we're not going to sign another outfielder out of the Japanese league. I don't see room for that. Like I said, I don't really see any room for anybody in the field. There's a lot of pitchers that we could go after, but nobody in the field, I think, is what we're going to go after. I don't think there is any room inside the field. It's only going to be pitching. Marcus Stroman, I wouldn't be upset with Marcus Stroman. You bring back Jamie or Candelario if you felt like it. I don't think we will with that either. But pitching, I think, is what you're going to see the Tigers do. I think they're pretty confident in their offensive side. Getting that pitching up, bullpen, and whatnot will be what they want to do. All right. With that being said, though, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think in the comments. Share the video. Until next time, hope to see everybody soon.